Hey guys, before you listen to this episode, a quick caveat. It may sound like I actually literally phoned it in, but I didn't. It's because TriCast, which we were using, picked up my AirPods instead of my microphone. Won't happen again, but bear with us through this slight dip in audio quality. You'll still be able to hear everything I say, and I think this is a really fun episode. I hope you enjoy it.
All right. Thank you for downloading episode. I don't know which one this is going to be. Never mind.
Wow, you've already ruined this whole thing.
I messed it up. The point is, look, we record these out of order. I never know when this is going to release, but thank you for downloading this episode of We Got This with Mark and Hal. I'm the Hal part.
And I'm the Mark part.
And look, if you want to help out the show, I keep beating the drum, but I'm going to keep doing it forever because this is the...
Some would say you've done it so much that at this point you're beating the dead horse.
You know what? If you beat the dead horse enough, it will come back to life.
Wait, is that how horses work?
Yeah.
And zombies?
Yeah. There's only like 3 horses in the world. People don't talk about that, but It's true.
The scariest of which, of course, is held by the Headless Horseman.
Yes, that's the scariest horse.
Yeah.
Listen, if you want to bring the horse back to life, here's what you do.
Clap.
You go to Apple Podcasts. Clap is part of it.
Mm-hmm.
But also, leave us a 5-star rating and a review on Apple Podcasts. Let's get those reviews going. If you're new to the show, tell people what you love about it. The more we get, the closer we get to merch. I swear to you, it will happen if we get enough of these reviews.
I believe you, Hal. Does everyone else?
Let's find out. For now, enjoy this episode of We Got This with Mark and Hal.
Hello, I'm Hal Lublin.
And I'm Mark Gagliardi.
Since the dawn of humanity, one issue has gone unsettled. With the fate of the world in the balance, we're here to settle, once and for all.
Clean Slate 14.
That's right. Don't worry, everyone. We got this.
Podcast should have a theme song. Podcast should not have a theme song. Yes, they should. No, they shouldn't. They sound good. Yeah, but people are just going to skip past it. You know what? You're right. We got this.
What's up, Hal?
I'll tell you what's up.
Where are you giggling?
I went and checked our email, which I know is my job. I haven't done it in a while, and there were 150 new emails to look at.
So this is going to be an all-email clean slate episode, which to us, might as well be snail mail. So this is our snail mail bag episode. Hal, what else did you find besides suggestions in our email?
I was sitting here thinking, should I bring this up? I don't know if Mark wants you to bring this up.
You absolutely should bring this up.
We got an email from a development executive at a production company who's interested in working with us.
By the way, you not checking that email is the most Mark thing that you, Hal, have ever done.
I know. I don't know. I think tomorrow when I'm done driving, I'm just going to leave my car on the side of the road. I'm trying it out.
You know what? It works. As long as you buy another $700 car and then just get as many parking tickets on that one as you can.
It's almost a game I'm going to play with myself.
Hal just said I'm going to play with myself.
Oh, no. I'm marking all over the place. Anyway, I did reach out to that person. When we're on TV together.
Yeah. The next time we check our email.
Yeah, exactly. Listen, if you are listening to this show and you are a television development executive, please email me at info@halloveland.com. I promise I will get that one immediately. And I will be more diligent about checking the emails. There were a lot of very nice emails from you, people who are fans of the show, and a lot of great topics. Some of them went straight to our list to cover at a future date, but a bunch of them I've assembled into a clean slate for us.
Let's do it, man. This is very exciting for me. I love, because I love email. No, because I love deciding things that I haven't read, that I haven't seen. What was exciting to me about this was that these have not been on our master list. And I see everything compiled on the master list because I do no work for this show. Hal and Kate do everything, and Ken. But I have not seen these before. So these topics were all pretty brand new to me.
Same here. I'm excited to have some fresh topics, and it was maybe I should wait another 6 months before I check the email again.
You know what? I think that's a really good idea.
Yeah, and then when Brandon Tartikoff's Ghost offers us an NBC sitcom.
Did you say Brandon Tartikoff's Ghost because you could not think of a current executive?
He was the first one that came into my head. I was trying to think of an executive that is worth, there aren't a lot that you can talk about nowadays.
Oh, no.
Anyway.
But we're not here to discuss,
That's not what we're here for. Yes. Of course. My goodness. All right. Let's just get this settled.
All right.
This person, their email, the name they have on their email is not sure. And they've emailed us many times. Thank you for your emails.
Thank you, not sure.
But they have asked, is it iced tea or ice tea?
Are we talking about the hip hop artist or are we talking about the drink?
Let's talk about both.
Okay. Because the hip hop artist, the rapper is definitely iced tea.
Yes.
Yeah, with no D. But I believe that the drink is iced tea. Not only because the tea has been iced after being brewed frequently, I think, but, unless you're making it in the sun, which, in the South we do some sun tea, but you do put the ice in afterwards. So it is, post brewing iced, but also because every time I've seen it on a menu, it said iced.
Yeah, listen, not sure. I don't know what you're looking for here. I feel like sometimes we get these suggestions.
Yeah.
And they are just crossed fingers hoping that you and I will go, listen, we know that everybody in the civilized world writes it down as iced tea.
Right.
But I'm going to hold out hope that these two guys who render decisions to be followed for all time across all known and unknown worlds
in perpetuity
side with me. Yeah, they want us to pull a fast one and make it iced tea. But listen, if it's a submarine sandwich, it's iced tea. Sorry.
Yeah, exactly. You're still sore about the sandwich thing, that it's not a hoagie. Why do you call it iced tea in Pennsylvania and Philadelphia?
We do, but we're mispronouncing it. It's just sort of, you go iced tea because everything is, we have lazy mouth.
Oh, right.
But what are other things like that? I guess it's similar to library.
Library?
You ever heard a kid say library?
I mean, like when they're first learning to form words. I've heard a kid say biscotti as well, but I know that's not right.
Do you think that Jeffy, PJ, Dolly, and Billy all say iced tea in Family Circus?
But first of all, I knew them by their names. I want that for the record.
I knew you did.
But it wasn't until you got to Billy that I knew what you were talking about. He's the rambunctious one that leaves the dotted line everywhere.
Yeah, he's the oldest. But I think it's Jeffy that calls it Paschetti and meat bulbs.
Look, I don't meat bulbs.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think we should be taking our menu advice from kids who still regularly ask, when's later, daddy? And have a shadow kid named Not Me who does all of their terrible things.
Do you think those kids are dumb? Not like they don't have a disorder. They're just like there are people who are just dumb. There are dumb people.
Well, I think they're just curious, but it's been like 70 years.
They're not curious about how to pronounce spaghetti. They're very clear that they're right saying Paschetti. It's not like they go, Paschetti and meatballs. Do I have that right? They just throw it out there like we're all supposed to go, oh, I've been saying it wrong. I think that they might be dumb.
You know what? There's only one way to find out. Retrace that dotted line that Billy made. You know what? Yeah, he was just trying to get to the door. He didn't need to go to all those places.
You know where that dotted line will never lead? School.
A bright future. That's where Billy's dotted line does not lead.
There's no stopping it, getting a job, meeting someone.
Yeah, no. This is not that linear path from the game of life. This is the spiral that Billy is in. It might be the addiction spiral. Should he seek help?
I gotta tell you, when they grow up, that house must turn into Grey Gardens. You know that the parents' skeletons are just sitting there in their two easy chairs. Asked and answered.
Yes.
All right.
It is iced tea.
Iced tea.
Officially. All right. What's next?
Brendan Sticker.
Hi, Brendan.
Hi, Brendan. Thank you for the email. asks, hoverboard or Segway? And I assume from this that he means the hoverboards that catch fire, not the cool hoverboards from Back to the Future.
Right. If it was the cool hoverboard from Back to the Future, it would be hoverboard. But if he's talking about the plastic foot-wheeled falling off machine that catches on fire, I think it's gotta be Segway, right?
Have you ridden on either of them?
Yes, I've ridden on both of them, and I find riding on a Segway to be infinitely easier and more pleasant.
Do you, I've not ridden on a hoverboard. I have ridden on a Segway, which I enjoyed very much.
It might, you know what it might be? It might be that we're like those old dudes who, like you could get a cool little Ducati or a Harley with no frills, or you could get that great big motorcycle that's practically a car that has the big windshield and is super wide and has like a whole dashboard with a full-on radio playing and a
touring
CD player. Yeah, a old man, I'm going to drive across the country for the next year. Kind of.
Those are touring bikes. My father-in-law had one. He may still have it. It may still be in his garage.
Oh yeah, but, that's a very Florida Georgia Line thing to have.
Yes, the entire band Florida Georgia Line drives around. Yes. That's what they get from gig to gig, is on their giant touring bike.
I meant the home locale of your lovely wife, Hal.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah.
Is she in Florida Georgia Line and she hasn't told me?
Oh my God.
She's going to come home and I'm going to be like, do you want to explain this fiddle?
And all these gold records.
And why Snoop Dogg is here.
Wait, did Snoop Dogg work with Florida Georgia Line?
It's just a matter of time, right? Everybody works with everybody now.
Sure. That's amazing. I mean, Snoop Dogg went on Martha Stewart.
He did. He did.
Does the fact that Paul Blart Mall Cop rides a Segway help the Segway cause or hurt the Segway cause?
I don't think it hurts it. You know what? I didn't hate the first Paul Blart. I thought it was fine for what it was.
They're fun.
Like, all right.
Also, if we're going for superior quality, like a Segway is many thousands of dollars and made much more, with much more craftsmanship. A hoverboard's like $100 made of plastic and catches fire.
Yeah, they look like the fake Transformers you buy in a gift shop. Like it looks like the same finish on it, where it's like, this is supposed to be chrome metal and you know it's cheap plastic.
Yeah. This transforms into a skateboard. All right.
Don't you ever wish your feet had wheels so you could ride around like BC, the comic strip?
Hal, don't tease me with that because yes, I do wish my feet had wheels.
Do you think you could ride a single wheel with two pegs on it like BC does in the comics?
A single wheel with two pegs?
Yeah, because he rode on the, that was how he got around.
Yeah, no, I don't. First of all, I don't remember BC comics. My newspaper didn't have BC when I was a kid.
Okay.
We had the Wizard of Id.
Sure. We did too.
Sure.
Did you have like Tank McNamara instead?
We didn't have Tank McNamara. We had, what was the one with the French Foreign Legion? Croc?
What?
Yeah, there was one that was all about, we had one that was all about the French Foreign Legion, just like traipsing through Algiers. It's a very strange comic strip.
Did you, quick question, did you grow up in 1937?
Yeah. Oh, you were there.
Yeah, you're right.
It just alternated between French Foreign Legion and High and Lois. It was just those two, alternating.
They're not the Lockhorns are the ones who hate each other.
I don't know. We didn't get them.
Oh yeah, that's just a terrible marriage played out over comic strips. Definitely somebody who's working some stuff out, but it's a Segway, right?
It's a Segway. It's definitely a Segway.
Yeah, there you go. If you have a hoverboard, don't throw it in the trash because your trash will catch fire.
Yeah.
Find a safe way to get rid of it.
Right. Maybe ride it really, really fast, and then as it starts to explode, leap off of it in slow motion.
Oh, good idea. And if you can do it even a little bit earlier, you can turn around and slowly walk away.
Oh, yeah, I like that. Yeah. So get off, do a cool, like, hockey stop on your hoverboard, walk away from it slowly, and don't turn back when it explodes.
No. And also get your back treated for all those burns.
Yeah.
That'll happen.
You know who else just got burned? The hoverboard. Oh. Sorry, hoverboard. Asked and answered.
Too bad. Robert Bond asks, this is a good one, and there is some background here. Is Die Hard a Christmas movie? Now, we did consider it in our best Christmas movie episode, but this is his. He wants us to rule on it for all time, which I understand. This is what he said in his email. To help you towards the correct decision, we will not be swayed. I'm going to point that out.
Yeah, I feel like he's got an idea what the correct decision is.
Yeah, he offers the following description. A white American male has to defend the building he is in from intruders using deadly force. During this adventure, he becomes friends with someone he normally wouldn't and confronts truths about himself. After the bad guys are defeated, he's reunited with his loving family and they get to celebrate Christmas together. Now, is that movie Die Hard or is that movie Home Alone?
No, it's both of them. You just described both movies, Hal.
It's both movies. Well, it wasn't me that did it. It was Robert Bond.
All right, Robert Bond. Look, this is one that, man, people get fiery about this.
Yeah.
I don't know. What does your gut tell you, Hal?
I've always thought of it as a Christmas movie because I think it was released. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe it's a summer release. I feel like it was released around Christmas, but it takes place at Christmas. The whole reason he's there is to visit his family at Christmas.
Yeah, but by that rationale, Lethal Weapon is a Christmas movie.
It is a Christmas movie. It also takes place at Christmas.
I don't think, look, I don't know that a movie taking place at Christmas time is what qualifies it to be a Christmas movie. Now, if the question is, all right, if the question is technically Christmas movie versus like holiday classic, you know what I mean?
Right.
It's not a holiday classic, but man, people get so up in arms. The people that, I want this to not be a Christmas movie just because the people that claim Die Hard as a Christmas movie can frequently be insufferable.
Why? What other pop culture belief do they have?
They just get,
that you don't
they
like?
get really adamant about it. I feel like the people that call Die Hard, this is definitely a Christmas movie, are the people that don't do what I do and sit down and watch 40 Christmas movies every year. So I'm not trying to give myself, props as the expert on Christmas movies here.
Right.
We all know, based on our previous argument, Hal, that, I got shot down by Judge John Hodgman.
But you picked a movie that has become a Christmas movie, even though it does not take place at Christmas.
Right. Which is, It's a Wonderful Life.
Right.
So
right.
maybe I'm not the authority on this. And I don't want to anger all of our fans out there who I would say more than half would call Die Hard a Christmas movie. I feel like general, like nerd culture, at large thinks of Die Hard as a Christmas movie. Like I've been to a lot of cons that sell, ho ho ho, now I have a machine gun Christmas sweaters.
Exactly.
You know
exactly.
what I mean?
No, it is. It is a Christmas movie. I think you hit the nail on the head. Is it a Christmas movie? Yes. Is it a holiday classic? No.
But I think in a purely technical sense, it's a Christmas movie.
Yes. So the answer is yes. I hope you're happy you got what you wanted, Robert.
And I don't mean any insult, Robert.
I don't either, but I mean, it was an interesting argument you made, which is why I read it. But it did not sway us ultimately. I don't think. I wasn't swayed by it. I just think it's amusing. So I wanted to share that with our listeners. Yeah. I thought they would.
Oh, it's a great, I had never heard that comparison of, because we'd never checked the email.
It's exactly, we never knew it was there.
All right. So yes, it is a Christmas movie. Asked and answered.
Asked and answered. Judah asks, which is the best way to wear a watch? Should I wear it with the face on the bottom of my wrist or the top? Which arm? Is it different for smartwatches versus traditional?
First of all, I think if you're wearing it on the bottom of your wrist, then you're the guy that the audience most wants to see get beaten up in an 80s movie.
Exactly. That is such an 80s thing. I feel like I saw somebody do that in a movie, so I did it for a while on the rare occasions that I wore watches as a kid. And
yeah, I think I may have tried it for a day, and it just feels really impractical.
Yeah. It looks like you're checking your veins every time you see what time it is.
It also, when the act of looking at your watch becomes its own affectation, as if to say, I'm looking at my watch, but also I'm showing you that I don't conform by wearing it on the inside of my wrist instead of the outside.
Right. So the watch we know that the face goes on top of the wrist.
Yeah. Also, I think,
that is settled.
If I may just continue to harp on a thing that's already settled, I feel like the inside of your arms, like the palm side, sees more action in a day, and that's more opportunities for a watch face to get scratched.
Absolutely. Yeah, you tap your hand or you're typing, you're going to scratch up that watch face. 100%.
Yeah. All right. So it's definitely the watch face on the back of the hand side of the wrist.
Yes.
Pronated or supinated? It's one of those. Pronated? I don't know. This is from stage combat sword fighting class years ago.
Now, do you have a preference, left hand versus?
Well, the way I was always taught as a kid is, if you're right-handed, you wear it on your left wrist.
Right.
Because it's easier to wind that way. And change the time, which you don't have to wind your watch so much anymore, because I guess I've never had a watch that you had to wind that didn't have a battery in it. But also, right. I imagine you have a Apple Watch. I do not. I have a regular watch.
Yes.
The Apple Watch, I imagine it would need to be on, or most easily on the hand that you do not write with, so that you can use your dominant hand to work the functions. Correct?
Yes.
All right.
Yes. So, first of all, wristwatches, as we all know, started during World War I, because soldiers who needed to fight and know what time it was didn't need to fumble around with a pocket watch.
Yeah, or looking at the inside of their wrist.
So this is another inherent bias, and I'm right-handed. You're left-handed, yes, Mark?
No, I am right-handed. I was going to ask you the same thing. How did we not both just know that no, because we've sat down in restaurants before and done that and done the, are you right-handed? You left-handed? Okay, we can sit on the same side. Thanks.
Continually. That's the one thing we share, is that neither remembers the other one's.
Yeah, handedness.
Heads are. But we
do know each other's handiness. Yeah. And I think you're a handy guy, Hal.
I agree. I think you are the handiest of handy guys.
Oh, thanks, buddy.
So this is part of the inherent bias against left-handers. Most people were right-handed, so the watch went on the left hand so that you could write and do productive things with your right hand and still check the time. So you wouldn't interrupt your work to check your watch. That is why
it take that long? Is it that long a pause in writing to look at your watch and see what time it is? Like the act of your hand leaving the page long enough for you to turn your wrist makes you go, oh, well, I lost my train of thought there. I should just throw this novel away.
It's not, but time was money in the early 20th century. They were like, no, we can't have our workers who do everything with a paper and pencil, take the time to look up, if you got time to check, you got time to wreck that paper with that pencil.
I don't know, man. I feel like you just made that up. Was that really a phrase back in World War I, Hal?
Yeah. Okay, of course.
I'm going to believe you.
But wearing my watch now, I wear it on the left hand. It's just become, at this point, it's just sort of ingrained that's where the watch goes. It goes on the left hand side. I've tried it on the right. It doesn't feel right to me.
Yeah. I always wear my watch on. I'm right-handed. I wear my watch on the left. If you're left-handed, wear your watch on the right. Sorry that the little winding knob's on the wrong side.
Yeah, that is a shame. Yeah, they're built for left-handed people. The Apple Watch was probably the first one where you can, well, not the first, but the great thing about something like that, or in any smartwatch, is you can tell it, I'm going to wear this on my right wrist, and then it will flip the orientation of the screen so that you've got the crown and button on the right side.
Look at that. Apple's thought of everything.
They really have. I'm sure they weren't the ones who came up with that, but
No. Samsung came up with it.
Samsung did it first. The watch goes on your left wrist, face up.
Asked and answered.
And before we get to the rest of these, let's take a quick break and hear from some of the other great shows. Yeah, let's just take a break.
All right. I thought we were on a roll.
We are on a roll. Oh, so long.
All right.
We're really going at it.
We'll be right back.
The Dead Pilot Society podcast brings you hilarious comedy pilots that were never made, featuring actors like Aubrey Plaza, Andy Richter, Paul F. Tompkins, John Hodgman, Adam Scott, Molly Shannon, Busy Phillips, Tom Lennon, Anna Camp, Laurie Metcalf, Felicia Day, Michael Ian Black, Adam Savage, Paul Scheer, Ben Schwartz, Skylar Aston, Mae Whitman, Josh Molina, Ben Feldman, Nicole Byer, Jason Ritter, Sarah Chalk, Steve Agee, Jane Levy, Allison Tolman, Danielle Nicolette, Casey Wilson, Anna Ortiz, Lorraine Newman, June Diane Raphael, Kieran Chipka, Ed Week, Zach Knight, and Carrie Kenny Silver, John Ross Bowie, Jamie Denbo, Janet Varney, Alessandra Forsythe, Summer, Nellie Morales, Matt Gorley, and many more. Listen at MaximumFun.org, iTunes, or wherever you download podcasts.
I love it.
Good stuff.
Man, every time.
Well, I hope that you're enjoying this podcast you're listening to as much as we are pretending to. But anyway, why not listen to another podcast too? It's called The Flophouse.
And on our podcast, we have recently watched a movie, often a bad movie, and we review it on our podcast, but mainly talk about other stuff and, I don't know, hang out.
It's all about hanging out, feeling like you're being with your best friends. Who are your best friends? Us three. Dan McCoy, Emmy Award-winning writer for The Daily Show, Stuart Wellington, owner of the best bar in Brooklyn, Hinterlands, and Elliot Kalin, former Emmy-winning head writer for The Daily Show with Jon Stewart, former head writer of Mystery Science Theater 3000, The Return, so many things. Author of the upcoming children's book,
All right,
Dog.
that's enough.
The Elliot's credits just go on and on.
Yeah, but if you like the idea of listening to three funny guys talk about bad movies, then why not come over and listen to The Flophouse? It's available at MaximumFun.org or wherever fine podcasts are found.
So get out of here.
See, don't you feel refreshed now?
I do.
Oh, so much better.
You know what? You were right. We needed that break. We should take one again in 5 minutes.
Yeah, just a quick, 5 minutes on, 5 minutes off.
5 on, 5 off.
Yeah.
Factory hours.
I use a thing now called the bear timer.
What?
It's a picture of a bear, but when you start the timer, you turn it over, and then it plays like water, like white noise, like the sound of a stream and then a rainstorm. And then for 25 minutes, you're supposed to work uninterrupted, and then you get a 5-minute break, and then you do another 25 minutes. And it's great.
Wait, what does the bear have to do with this? Does the bear freak you out at 25 minutes and you're just listening to pleasant water, and then 25 minutes in you hear a giant roar and you're like, well, I gotta go, and you pack up all your stuff and run out of the room?
I kind of wish it did now, but it doesn't. There's just a drawing of a bear on it. I guess they thought this will be cool. We're a tech company. This will be cute.
Cause I think my idea would work great for an alarm clock. That's your snooze. You're awakened gently by the sound of water, and then you're screamed awake by the noise of a bear attacking you. That would get me out of bed every morning. Why aren't there just horrifying alarm clocks that would get you up immediately? Oh my God, he's got a knife and he's in the house. That would get me out of bed.
I've been watching you sleep.
Oh, jeez. No, that would make me all warm and snuggly.
And then when you hit snooze,
it's the boogeyman.
When you hit the snooze button, back to the shadows. You want to clean some more slate?
Let's clean some more slate.
All right. Josh Andrew writes and says, best lyrical self-referential movie anthem. So not from a musical, because all songs from musical movies are in reference to something in the movie. So some examples that he gives are...
He's giving us a lot of rules.
Yeah, we've got the Ninja Rap from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2. Wild Wild West by Will Smith.
All right.
Goonies Are Good Enough by Cyndi Lauper.
Sure.
MC Hammer's Addams Family Rap from Addams Family Values.
They do what they want to do, say what they want to say, live how they want to live, play how they want to play, dance how they want to dance, kick and they slap a friend. Addams Family. By the way, they kick and they slap a friend.
Yeah.
Is one of the lyrics in that. All right.
That makes sense for them. They're constantly poisoning each other, right?
Sure. Are there any more on the list?
Yeah. He also lists the Ghostbusters theme.
Mm-hmm.
And the theme from Men in Black.
Mm-hmm.
And Footloose.
All of these are excellent choices.
Yes.
This one I was particularly excited about. Right. So I went online this afternoon and compiled a more extensive list of referential songs. Now I'm going to rapid fire through this whole list, and then I think you and I are going to, you know what? When this list is done, I think we're going to have to 1, 2, 3 this one because we may already be on the same page with what the right answer is.
Okay. And I'm going to throw one in that you don't have here.
All right, go ahead. What's the one you're going to throw in?
Easy Money by Billy Joel.
What's that? That's from the movie Easy Money?
From the movie Easy Money with Rodney Dangerfield.
Hilarious. Probably not going to win. Maybe. I don't know. This is not going to be long. We've done some things like this before that take a very long time. We're going to do a quick version of this.
All right.
But here is a non-exhaustive list. Easy Money, the aforementioned, also Animal House, What's It All About, Alfie, Arthur's Theme, When You Get Caught Between the Moon and New York City, The Ballad of Easy Rider, featuring the work of Bob Dylan for the movie, Blaze of Glory from Young Guns 2, Blazing Saddle. He wrote a Blazing Saddle from Blazing Saddles. The Chariots of Fire theme. Who doesn't think of that when they think of running in slow motion?
Sure,
Lose Yourself by Eminem, Academy Award winner. Huge, huge hit. Dueling Banjos from Deliverance. I'm going to get back to this one. No, I'll do it right now. All of the Bond songs. I was going to come back at the end and do this one, but there are a lot of great James Bond movie songs. Goldfinger immediately comes to mind. Skyfall. Live and Let Die. Paul McCartney. Come on.
Duran Duran's View to a Kill.
Exactly. There are a lot. Like, we could do this just from the Bond movies.
Sure.
But moving on, we've got Endless Love. Eye of the Tiger from Rocky 4. Rocky 3.
3.
Flashdance, What a Feeling. Ghostbusters, of course. He Got Game. In the Heat of the Night, the Ray Charles tune from the movie. Man on the Moon by R.E.M. Streets of Philadelphia, from Bruce Springsteen. The Neverending Story. Rock and Roll High School. Who's the Baddest? Shaft. Soul Man from the Blues Brothers. Stayin' Alive from Saturday Night Fever. Superfly. The Crying Game. The Entertainer from The Sting. Marvin Hamlish's version of the Scott Joplin classic. The Rose, made famous by Bette Midler. The Way We Were, made famous by Barbra Streisand. To Sir with Love, from the movie of the same name. What's New Pussycat from the movie. Madonna's Who's That Girl, and the aforementioned Wild Wild West. Now, of all those songs, there are a couple that pop out.
Yep.
But I feel like there's one greatest.
Okay. You want to count it?
I wonder, oh man, if this doesn't work, I'm going to sound like an idiot. But I think there is one greatest. And I think I know you well enough to know that you might agree with me. So you want to count it down and say it at the same time?
Sure, go ahead.
1, 2, 3. Ghostbusters.
No!
Shaft is great.
Shaft is great.
I just assumed, knowing you, that you would say Ghostbusters.
I do love Ghostbusters, but I love that Shaft sets up the entire movie.
Yeah.
He's a private investigator who's very popular with the ladies.
Mm-hmm.
And he's very complicated. And he would risk himself, he would risk his neck for a brother man.
That's true. It's a pretty great. So I'm looking at it right now to see if it won any awards. Did it get the Oscar for best song?
Yes. Oscar, Isaac Hayes won the Oscar for that. And then when they did the medley of Oscar winning, songs, he rose up from the stage on at his piano. And that was like the big blow off number. Now I love Ghostbusters, but that song is also I Want a New Drug by Huey Lewis and the News and was stolen. He had to take them to court for it.
Oh, well, you know
Ray
what?
Parker Jr.
That's a shame. I did not know that about that song. Yes. I love Shaft. I forgot about how great that song is until I was compiling this list. I'm gonna list off a couple others. Let's see if Shaft can stay the baddest. Okay. I'm gonna read off just a couple other ones. Some real classics on here. You ready?
Go ahead.
Eye of the Tiger.
No.
Really?
Because it references something in the movie. It is self-referential within the movie, but it's not like the song, like, and his name is Rocky Balboa.
Right. All right. So you want something akin to a 1960s TV theme song. Like, here's the setup for Gilligan's Island.
Right. I like that about the song. First of all, it's still like, you can still like, it's super funky and it's still like a hot track to this day.
Mm-hmm.
Even though it's very much of the time that it came out, it's just it is an iconic piece of music for one single song.
All right. I'm going to give you one more iconic song from the same era. We'll see if Shaft, will remain the baddest. I don't know. I'm just looking for ones on this list that could potentially beat Shaft.
Sure.
And I think the only other one that I've found, looking at this list, there's some great stuff on here.
Sure.
The idea of Bette Midler and Isaac Hayes duking it out for best song is hilarious to me.
Oh, sure.
So it's not going to be The Rose.
The Rose is a musical though, right?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, songs about singers.
Right.
Technically, yeah, you know what I mean?
Sure, sure.
The Way We Were, same thing. But Staying Alive. That opening credit sequence to Staying Alive, I would argue that there's no song that is as associated with a movie as that one is, with that opening foot shot of John Travolta walking down the streets of New York.
With the can of paint.
Yeah.
Where's he? He's in Queens, right? Isn't that where he lives?
Yeah, I don't know.
He's either in Queens or Brooklyn, I think.
Queens or Brooklyn. It's not Manhattan. It's a borough.
No. Yes. He's in an outer borough. Yeah, it's another fantastic, like that whole soundtrack is great. It's another iconic, there are a lot of iconic pieces of music. Honestly, if I were going to choose another one off of this list, it wouldn't be Staying Alive, even though I agree with you, and I think you make a great point. I would have picked Rock and Roll High School, because I think it's such a great song.
It is a great song.
But
man, I'm real disappointed about that, to find that out about Ghostbusters.
Yeah, I mean, look, it doesn't take away from how good the song is, but it does, like, it's still again, iconic piece of music. Although the piece of music I think of from Ghostbusters is the like the orchestration stuff. Yes. I think about that a little bit. That's something that for some reason sticks in my head more.
Yeah, I think that may be more of a you thing.
And by the way, another song that didn't make it on here which is also by Huey Lewis and the News, is Back in Time from Back to the Future.
Back in Time's a great song.
Yeah.
We danced to that song in Kids Unlimited when I was a kid. We danced at Disney World to that song.
Oh.
Yeah.
Look at you.
Man, it's tough. Lose Yourself is another great one.
Oh, yeah. And it's used brilliantly in that film, the way it fills out. So the first time you see him on the bus and he's writing, you hear the beat, and then every once in a while, it's just palms are sweaty, mom's spaghetti, like it's slowly coming to him, which I love. That movie is a fantastic movie.
But does the song beat Shaft? I think like the spirit of this, which is why I think, we could take another look at some of the Bond songs too. The spirit of this being the title of the movie is the title of the song.
Right.
Is a big help.
It's the most self-referential.
It's the most self-referential. And it really does. Yeah, I think it's gotta be Shaft. I think you're right.
Yeah.
It sets it up perfectly. It's an epic, classic movie song that sets up the movie, perfectly self-referential.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't beat it. The answer is Shaft. All right. I thought it was going to be Ghostbusters. I'm real disappointed in you, Ray Parker Jr.
Listen,
I almost said Ray Park, but I'm not disappointed in Ray Park. He's lovely as Darth Maul.
That's right. Look, it's a complicated topic and nobody understands it but Mark and Hal.
Right.
Ask them.
Shut your mouth.
Hey, we're just asking and answering.
All right. Next up.
Stephanie and Barry Wallace. They are in a deadlock argument about this with one another. So we're here to help promote wedded bliss in their home.
That's right. Well, hopefully.
Yeah. They want to know the best Chris who's working today. And no Christian Slater, no Christian Bale.
The best Chris working today. This is a ridiculous question.
So really what they want us to choose between Pratt, Pine, Hemsworth, and Evans.
So blockbuster movie, Chris.
Blockbuster movie, Chris.
Okay.
I mean, truly, Chris Rock is probably the best of all of them.
Yeah, of all the look, we both work in comedy. Chris Rock is the greatest Chris alive.
Yeah. Also, Christopherson.
Sure, Chris Christopherson's great.
Parnell.
Are we just doing a shout out to favorite Chris's?
Yeah.
Great. Christie. Like. Dude shut down a bridge just because he was angry.
Yeah, exactly. Jersey vengeance. All right.
That's the most Jersey. Of Pratt, these four.
Pine, Hemsworth, and Evans. To me, it's a 2-horse race.
Between?
Hemsworth and Evans.
Oh, absolutely not. I'm a Pratt 100%.
I love Pratt. He was great on Parks and Rec. I love him as Star-Lord.
You can't take one role, okay?
Yeah.
You can't, I think you've got to take a body of work, which means, and here's why Chris Pratt gets my vote. Chris Pine, the damsel in distress in Wonder Woman and also Captain Kirk in Star Trek.
Yes.
Both very good. But you think of him as Captain Kirk, or I think of him as Captain Kirk more so.
Yeah.
Chris Hemsworth, great in, was it Cabin in the Woods that he was in?
Yeah.
But I think of him, he's strictly Thor.
Hold on though. What about, I can't remember the name of his character in Ghostbusters.
Oh, he's pretty funny in Ghostbusters too.
Yeah, the guy is hilarious.
As the himbo.
Yeah.
Chris Evans, I think Captain America. I don't think that his Fantastic Four turn.
Human Torch. He was great. By the way, he was a great Johnny Storm too.
But I think that like looking at what Chris Pratt did on Parks and Rec and then what Chris Pratt has done in Guardians of the Galaxy, maybe it's just that I like that character the best. We have three Avengers on this list of Chris's.
Yes. Marvel loves Chris.
Yeah. I would say Christopher Lowell. Remember that guy? The home makeover guy with the little beard?
Oh, yeah. What about Christopher Lloyd?
Christopher Lloyd? He's a Christopher. Doesn't go by Chris, I don't think.
That's true.
Not
He's
to
not
us,
Chris
anyway.
Lloyd.
We don't know him.
Yeah.
So Pine's out.
Okay. And I'm willing to take Evans out, although he's funnier than people give him credit for because he came up doing comedies.
Yeah. He's good. He's very good. He's also an altruistic human.
Yes. He's also a good dude. I like Hemsworth as a person. Like, if I could hang out with any of these guys, it would probably be Evans or Hemsworth first, before Pratt.
Oh, man.
Although I like him too. They're all likable guys.
Yeah. I think that Chris Pratt has, while he's always Chris Pratt in everything that he does, he's got a wider range.
I don't know. When he wanders too far out of Andy Dwyer or Star-Lord, you get movies like Passengers.
Yeah, I didn't see Passengers.
It was terrible. I watched it on a plane.
That's the two-person movie with him and Jennifer Lawrence, right?
Yes, it is. It is very bad.
Wait, you watched a movie about two people sealed in a tube up in the air, whose fate is doomed while you were on an airplane?
Yeah, when better to watch it?
All right.
It really gets me in the mood. That and Airplane. Those are the go-to in-flight movies.
I do like the idea of Airplane being one of the selections.
Yeah, of course.
Pretty great. This is tough, man. I gotta stick with my guts though, and I gotta hold tight for Chris Pratt. If you're adamantly against, I think this is, I don't know. If you're adamantly against him, I'll take him off the table. But I don't think that that it's Evans.
I like Hemsworth. I haven't seen stuff with him that I haven't liked, and even within the character of Thor, he's shown a ton of range. He went from straight Shakespeare to an absolute goof in Ragnarok.
Mm-hmm.
So the range he showed in one character, plus he's a great SNL host. Has Pratt hosted SNL? I feel like he did.
I don't
once.
know.
I think he did once.
I also have a soft spot for Pratt for his transformation that he went through.
Oh, sure.
Going from doughy comedy guy. And look, as a doughy comedy guy.
Right.
Who would love to be an action superstar.
Right.
Chris Pratt is the gold standard of doughy comedy guys who became action superstars.
Yes, he transformed his body.
He's got the Jurassic World movies too. Look, I'm a big Chris Pratt fan.
I wouldn't,
You don't think those movies, are selling points?
I don't think so. Not for him. I only like the first Jurassic World because Eric is in it.
All right. So I'm eliminating Evans.
Okay.
I think it's between Hemsworth and Pratt.
Yeah, that's fine. I will accept that, even though low key, I feel like it's Evans in my heart.
Really?
Yeah.
You just like Captain America because he's so perfect. Just like you, Hal.
Great nuanced performance. He's done a lot of other things. He's good at Snowpiercer. It's another movie with him in it.
That's the, he's got to get from the back of the train to the front?
Yes.
All right. I just really like Star-Lord, I guess.
Sure.
I don't know. I'm a huge, and this is one of those ones like, we have to think objectively though. You know what I mean? And that's the game of the show, is that we have to do this objectively. So I think one thing to look at is body of work.
Right.
Which, Pratt may lose points for the Jurassic World movies.
And Passengers.
Hemsworth shows range as Thor, but I can't think of other movies he's done besides playing Thor.
I'll tell you, what I remember him
except for Cabin in the Woods.
I'll tell you something
which
he's
is great
in. Which not a lot. This is what I knew him from when I was like, oh, that guy got cast as Thor. He's in the first J.J. Abrams Star Trek movie.
As who?
As Kirk's father.
Oh, that's right. He's Kirk's dad in that.
And he in like 3-4 minutes of screen time, you watch him make the ultimate sacrifice, but spend the whole time talking to his wife and keeping her reassured while he goes to his death. Like in those moments, like it was real. Like in watching it, I was like, who is that guy playing George Kirk? He's fantastic. And then he wound up being Thor. So there's something about him that is like an X factor.
Yeah, I don't think he can play quiet moments as well as Pratt can, though. That's one thing I really like about Chris Pratt is I think he fills quiet moments. He's got a lot of bravado to him, but I think he fills quiet moments more believably than Chris Hemsworth does to me. Not that Chris Hemsworth isn't great, and what he's getting called on to do is usually big and broad because I've seen him mostly as Thor.
Right. And he does a good job, he always plays a big bombastic guy, but the way that's shifted over time has been really great. I mean, he's essentially the star of Infinity War as far as the Avengers go. He's got the most complete arc of anybody in that film.
Right. I still think it's Chris Pratt, though.
He's on the hero's quest. I'll give it to you. Let's take Chris Pratt.
All right. Did you just want to move on?
Well, we need to move on, but also, look, I could pick him at that point out of the 3 Marvel Chris's. If we're going even just from the Marvel Chris's, I'm comfortable with any of the 3, even though I would pick Evans there.
Great. So Chris Pratt asked and answered.
There you go. I got 2 here from Valerie Rogers.
I didn't mean to. I feel like I just waited you out on that one.
You did. You did wait me out. Isn't that what you wanted, though? Isn't that why you kept going?
Yeah. Sometimes the objective answer is the one that you just wait for the longest.
Yeah. Let's not pretend like you feel bad. Let's just
I don't.
Valerie Rogers, I have 2 from Valerie.
Great.
First, let's do the easier one. Lamps or overhead light fixtures?
Lamps.
100% lamps.
Lamps make a room lovely.
Yeah, and you can do that. You can have the foot slider where you dim it, or you can have the switch.
if I want a room to be appropriately lit with the right, vibe, I will frequently just turn off whatever the overhead lights are and do everything with lamps.
Yeah, just get some lamps going.
Yeah.
Set the mood.
It's groovier, man.
Exactly. Then the other one she asks is Peeps or Cadbury cream eggs?
Ooh, man. This is going to be another one of these like the, like muggy Oreos. I like stale Peeps.
If I have to eat Peeps, I'd rather they be stale.
Yeah.
Than fresh. But Cadbury cream egg? Come on.
You think it's Cadbury cream egg?
It's not even close between these two. Take a Cadbury, listen here. You take a Cadbury cream egg, you buy it, you eat it. Fine. You take a Cadbury cream egg, you put it in the refrigerator, then you got a real treat. Then you got a crunchy chocolate cereal.
The egg middle isn't gooey anymore.
It gets gooey real fast.
Well, I don't know how fast I'm going to eat it right out of the fridge. Like, I feel like room temperature.
You could do it either way, but it's a superior candy. I used to buy those things like right after Easter. They would go on sale for like $1 a box. And
Cadbury cream eggs?
Yeah.
A Cadbury cream egg does feel like more of a treat. Peeps feel like a Cadbury cream egg feels more powerful.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's the Peeps, their strength is in numbers. Peeps are the zombies and Cadbury cream eggs are the Draculas.
Yeah. Wouldn't you rather hang out with Dracula
than a zombie? Yeah, sure.
Yeah, of course.
Have you ever cracked a Cadbury cream egg into a pan?
No.
Like you were cooking a regular egg? I did that as a child.
And how'd that go?
I made a mess. That's how it went. Cadbury chocolate is delicious chocolate. The middle is an insane sugar rush, though. Yeah. I feel like the chocolate, edges it out over Peeps, but I feel like the middle of a Cadbury cream egg is gross.
And it's cream egg asked and answered, but if somebody out there
Whoa, hang on now.
There's no way it's anything other.
What, Peeps are a universally, you can't just, look, it might well be Cadbury cream eggs, but you can't just throw Peeps under the bus like that. So flippantly. That's the candy equivalent of DiCaprio taking that one quick headshot at the end of The Departed. It's just unsatisfying.
Kind of like a package of Peeps.
How dare you? Now, they both require some, well, maybe not a Cadbury cream egg. The Peeps require some work to be perfect.
Okay.
Like meaning that you have stale? Letting them get stale. Yeah, you ever put a Cadbury cream egg in the microwave? It doesn't blow up like a Peep does.
I have put a Peep in the microwave. I enjoy that.
Yeah, it's fun.
But that's not eating it.
I know that the superior candy is the Cadbury cream egg, but I feel like the way that you said asked and answered so quickly, you were not showing the Peep its due respect.
I think I showed it the exact amount of respect it deserves. It's just a rolled marshmallow.
I'm so mad at you right now.
Do you want a Peep snowman?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, I'll get you a Peep.
I don't like the snow. By the way, I feel like the bunny is the superior Peep to the chick, even though the chick, I assume, is the original Peep.
Because you can bite the ears off and eat it that way.
Because you can bite the ears off, and they get staler faster.
Yeah, there's another selling point of the Peep. It goes bad real fast.
All right, it's the Cadbury cream egg. I just wanted to make sure you gave some proper time to the Peep.
Asked and answered. It's had its airtime. It's had its equal airtime. All right, last one.
All right, let's do this.
This is Jeremy from Denver.
What's up, Jeremy?
Checking in from the Mile High City to ask, rain jacket or poncho?
What's your gut say on this one, Hal?
Well, let me answer your question with another question, Jeremy. And Mark, you can answer this on Jeremy's behalf. Are you going to need your arms for anything?
Sure.
Then you probably want a jacket instead of a poncho, where you're basically like Grimace. And if it has the hole in it, then your sleeves are against the wet part. It's just, the poncho is like fun for a theme park, but it is like like you're wearing a condom. It's not really for.
How is the question worded?
Rain jacket or poncho?
That's it. Okay.
I copied and pasted it.
I'm going to say, I'm going to play devil's advocate on this one here.
Oh, here we go.
I'm not thinking just from the perspective of one person,
okay,
but as one person, and because I like a rain jacket, even though, I mean, it wicks away moisture. It's lovely. Even though sometimes my pants and boots will get, wet in the way that they won't with a poncho, which is longer and covers more of the body. Mm-hmm. But I think as a person who worked in theme parks for 9 years, I think the accessibility and availability and packability and maneuverability of mass quantities of ponchos, if it starts to rain and you've got a stack, you can keep 100 people dry for the same cost and space in a closet that you can keep one person dry with a raincoat.
Right, but is it my job to make sure people are prepared? You know what I mean?
Wow, Hal. He ain't heavy. He's my brother. Am I not my brother's keeper? We are all one. All for one, one for all, Hal. Where's your spirit, comrade?
It's in the pockets of my rain jacket that I wear.
So I guess the question is, what's more important to you, Hal? The needs of the one or the needs of the many?
You mean, would I rather have a poncho that I can turn into a tenement when it rains, or would I rather everybody has a nice rain jacket and is comfortable and functional in wet weather?
Does your rain jacket have a Universal Studios logo or a Mickey Mouse on it?
Yeah, of course it does.
Okay, then it's rain jacket.
Fine, asked and answered.
All right.
That's it.
That's it.
The slate is clean.
The slate is clean. Oh, we can have dessert now.
And the light is green. The slate is clean.
Ooh.
That's it. No more topics for now, but email us. I will check it more frequently. Here's how you give us more topics. You email us at wegotThisPodcast@gmail.com.
We've been saying that for almost 3 years.
Which I will check more regularly now, especially for you TV executives. And you can join the Facebook group. Do that as well. Go to facebook.com/groups/WeGotThisPodcast.
Or reach out to us on Twitter at WeGotThisTweets. Or, hey, check out the Maximum Fun subreddit. We'll probably do that at some point in the next 6 months, too.
Maybe. Thank you to producer Ken Flume, researcher Kate McManus, graphic designer Uri Kelman, and QA engineer Jen Alba.
And thanks, as always, to our musicians, Jonathan Dinerstein and Mike Furman, for our score and theme song, respectively. And thanks to you, our listeners. We did it, guys. We did it again. That's the 14th time we've cleaned the slate. And I'm so happy that you are all here to hear it. I'm so happy that, don't tell Hal, that Chris Pratt won. Big fan of that guy.
What?
Thank you. What? Thank you for listening to the show. For Hal Lublin, I'm Mark Gagliardi.
For Mark Gagliardi, I'm Hal Lublin. And don't worry, everybody.
We got this.
We got this.
MaximumFun.org.
Comedy and culture.
Artist owned.
Listener supported.